Hello everyone, I am Ananta Chowdhury, a PhD student from the University of Manitoba. I'll be presenting our paper titled as Co-Designing with Early Adolescents, Understanding Perceptions of and Design Considerations for Tech-Based Mediation Strategies that Promote Technology Disengagement. Nowadays, children's excessive use of technology has become a growing concern. While using technology and digital media can offer benefits in terms of education and socialization, overuse of technology and excessive screen time can have negative effects on children's social and cognitive development. It can also lead to health issues, and if not properly monitored and controlled, overuse of technology can even become an addiction. So the question is how we can help children to disengage from technology overuse. To tackle this issue, many HCI researchers designed different child-oriented technologies, which include joint activities with family members, planning children's device-based playtime, and using augmented reality to influence behavioral change. While there are many research works that aimed to help children limit their tech use, we were interested to see what happens if we could give children the ability to design their own solutions. What could we learn about how they conceptualize this problem, and what types of solutions do they see as useful to solve this issue? To investigate these questions, we involved 21 children in the co-design of tech-based interventions. And in our paper, we present insights into children's perceptions regarding the issue of tech overuse, and how they envision appropriate tech-mediated solutions to promote healthy tech use. Now let's look at our study method. We conducted a multi-session co-design study. We ran the study at a point of time when people were still getting used to being back in person, so we decided to hold the sessions online. We focused our investigation on early adolescents because, according to prior literature, they spend more time with technology than the other age groups, and they develop a sense of autonomy, which often leads to parent-child conflicts regarding tech use. We conducted the sessions in groups of 3. So we had 7 groups in total, and each group attended 3 online sessions. In the first session, we asked participants to collaboratively create a story illustrating the problem of tech overuse. In the second session, we asked them to brainstorm ideas to solve this problem and map similar ideas together. In between sessions 2 and 3, we asked them to sketch out their own solutions individually. And finally, in the third session, participants shared their individual solutions, and then the groups worked together to sketch one final solution. I acted as the facilitator in each of these sessions and conducted focus group discussions to better understand participants' design choices. Now I'll briefly discuss findings from each of these sessions. From the stories generated in the first session, we learned how participants conceptualized the problem of technology overuse. Through the stories, they tried to demonstrate different emotions related to tech use and parental rules. Let's see an example. Here, a friend is asking the main character of the story to stop using technology so that they can have a conversation. But the main character here is not interested to engage in any conversation. So he says, "My real life is ruined and I don't like to talk to others because I have no life." After this story creation session, we had a brainstorming session where the groups generated a lot of different ideas for solving this problem. In fact, we counted a total of 101 ideas across all the groups. These ideas included encouraging other offline activities to reduce screen time, like finding a new hobby and engaging in joint activities with friends and family. For example, this is a sticky note from the brainstorming session where a group generated such an idea. Do some other activities to replace video games. Do something they find interesting. To educate early adolescents about the issue of tech overuse, our participants talked about using a tech-based companion who would share motivational stories and negative consequences with them. One idea from the participants was to use a small robot to convince children to limit screen time. They also talked about using different kinds of awareness tools, like an alarm or a reminder, since early adolescents can often lose the track of time while using devices for entertainment. Here, participants talked about designing an app that gives children friendly reminders to disengage. Based on these ideas and their individual sketches, each group designed one final solution to support their tech disengagement. Now let's take a look at a couple of them. Here, participants designed a friendly robot who will educate them about the negative consequences of overusing technology. It will also remind them to disengage and encourage them to do other creative activities. Here's a solution from another group that took a very different approach. They sketched an app that will help early adolescents to find a new hobby. There are goals that they will complete jointly with their parents, and if they achieve a goal, they will be rewarded. From these final design solutions and the focus group discussions surrounding them helped us identify some interesting design factors. In the paper, we discuss 4 factors as being important, which are balancing children's agency and parental involvement, positive reinforcement to motivate participation, considering children's emotions, relatability, and novelty. I'm going to expand on the first 2 here. Due to the developing sense of autonomy, our participants preferred less parental control and more independence. They discussed ways to control their own tech use. As participant 9 said, I was thinking about planning their own time and tracking their own time. While participants wanted more autonomy in practicing tech disengagement, interestingly, most of them wanted to give some sort of control to their parents. For example, with any reward-based tech mediation tool, parents might need to check whether the children actually completed their tasks before rewarding them. As P13 said, the parent will have to approve the activity, so the child can't just put an activity that they didn't do to get more points. One design factor that we found in almost all our participants' final solutions was the incorporation of positive reinforcement, such as different rewards and words and gestures of encouragement. As this participant said, give them creative tasks, give reward points, and say good things to encourage. Participants also talked about incorporating gamification. For example, P18 said, maybe we make whatever they have to do part of a game, so make life into a game, like do these things and get points. To summarize our work, we conducted co-design sessions with early adolescents, and through these sessions, we learned about early adolescents' views on tech disengagement, and we identified key design factors that they found useful. So now that we have some ideas directly from early adolescents on how they might design tech-based mediation strategies and what they consider to be important, what are some next steps for the future? One interesting next step is to explore this design space further. For example, we talked about how participants wanted a balance between children's agency and parental involvement. But what is the right balance? What are the key considerations there? Then we saw such a range of different sorts of solutions that motivates this question: should we consider individual characteristics of children while designing these tools to allow personalization? In our study, we focused on early adolescents' perspectives. In the future, it might be interesting to explore how parents respond to these child-generated design factors and ideas. And ultimately, we need to deploy these solutions to investigate how early adolescents and their families adopt them, both in the short term and in the long term. One interesting idea is to see whether adoption patterns might change if children know that the solutions were generated by their peers. So that is all from me. Thank you so much for watching.